miracle that has taken place up here in a very real way. And that miracle has been the miracle of two worlds meeting. Two worlds coming to a place of respect where none has existed for thousands of years. The old world and the new world, the dark world and the light world. They represent the Ku and the Lono. In each of us, there exists a need to have balance between the Ku and the Lono. Ku is the principle of power. Lono is the principle of direction. Power without direction is useless. At its worst, it's dangerous. Direction without power is useless. Within each of us, there's a need for both to be combined. And when they are, one makes available the pathway to divinity, which is a place of total consciousness, total unconditional love, total complete experience of what is, as it is, for what it is. No judgments about right or wrong or good or bad. Simply what is and the consequences of your choices. Kahana is an old world kahuna. He's from the old world, a place that has been kept hidden from the new world's eyes on purpose. I represent the new world. We're brothers. His outside is my inside. My outside is his inside. We teach the same thing for the same reason. To heal a broken trust that happened many thousands of years ago. Where just as within us there exists a battle at times between Ku and Lono, there also in the world has existed two worlds, twin worlds, that have been at war with one another. When man bought into judgment, the first obvious thing to judge was skin color, the dark versus the light. The trust was broken. The light world said, what you have is of no value to us. They had the power. They still do. They responded by saying, what we have, we'll keep secret from you. We'll withhold the power. Trust was broken. And our world has existed in dysfunction, not at the place of divinity that it's intended to be ever since. Our reunion as brothers is something that's very significant. He had been looking for me. We teach the same Huna. And it's really rather remarkable because the kind of Huna that we teach is not available in books anywhere. It's not been ever understood at that level by most people who write about it. There was an acknowledgement made. I acknowledged him as Kahuna, vice versa. he began to share with me the things that had been kept hidden. I shared with him. We began to work together in balance and in harmony. It's the first time I know of that that's ever been done. But it's a bridge between the old world and the new world. And it's a way to reestablish that trust that was broken. Because the truth of the matter is that he is not Kahuna of Hawaii and me Kahuna of Colorado. Okay. It's that we are both Kahuna of Kanaka Maori, the people who are indigenous to the land. That's who we are. We're all indigenous to this world. Anything else is a phony, completely phony judgment. It keeps us at war. And the power does not have the direction that it needs at time, and the direction has no power. And that can heal when we see ourselves as one, as twins. Do you have anything to add to that for now?
No, you're doing fine.
Tonight, we thought we'd try something that we haven't done before in recognition of this reunion, to see what we can learn. We're going to divide the class into two groups, the new world and the old world. And we're going to see what we can learn about putting it, what could make it go apart, and what can make it go back together.
Saving your power away.
All right. What I wanted to help you to understand is this is the heart of Huna and what Huna is about. Okay? We have here old world, new world. Dark, light. Ku, Lono, power, direction. Okay. Feminine, masculine. All right. Where do you want to go from here?
Where are you? Right now, where are you?
The new world.
Where those people are.
I guess.
Doesn't really that go.
Okay, let's take a look at what it means to be in Lono. Who's got some ideas about what it means to be in Lono?
Is it like we're just digesting this through our head, we aren't feeling it?
That's for sure. Not much in the way of feelings.
Preoccupied and distracted.
Preoccupied and distracted? Yeah, that's your Lono, that's not my Lono. We can become preoccupied and distracted. Why? What is our mind? It's a calculator. Okay? Garbage in, garbage out. A lot of times we have a lot of problems that come up in our lives, so-called problems. And you know, no matter how you try, you can't figure them out. You just don't have enough information. So you can sure get lost and confused. But you know what? Ku, without Lono, can be even more lost and confused. Without direction, all that's left is just the patterns.
You heard the expression? You heard the expression on power and no brain? This what happens when Lono and Ku don't communicate. Power and direction don't see eye to eye. Did you see it? Over here, when that happens, we grow for words. We try to find words to do it with. We try to find words to justify why we're frustrated. Over here. This is frustration. This is confusion.
In Lono, you're trying to find words to justify or explain why you're frustrated.
Yeah.
And the other one, you're just frustrated.
And cool, you know there's no words.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pound you out and that's it. It's action. There are no words for that action.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that does typify him. No words, just action. And I've learned a lot about that from him.
Now, we know that. We know that. We experience that because our people experience it. They experience frustration big time. You know? And here, very few have the ability here very few have the ability to subdue this frustration. We have our own way of subduing frustration. We act it out. And we're not the only ones that do that. The new world does it too. They act out the frustration. Do you have a mirror?
Get any hint? The universe is putting up several mirrors to mirror to you the same thing. Masculine and feminine. Power and direction. Dark and light. See? In the nations, okay, dark versus light people in the world. In our spirit, Ku and the Lono. At every level, we're being mirrored something here. Get in touch with that. There are no accidents in the universe. Why would divinity go to such trouble to set up so many mirrors that are all mirroring the same thing? At so many levels. Spirit, body, family, nation, man, woman.
You spoke of a trust earlier. Really, two. Not agree. They don't trust each other. The Lord says to the Lono, hey, I'm the law here. The Lono says, I'm yours, I'm the law here. I can do this and I can do that. And the Ku said, well, I can do this and I can do that. And it goes back and forth, back and forth.
That's some little voices you hear inside your head, right?
All the time.
Actually, it's more like feelings versus voices versus feelings versus voices.
Okay.
Back and forth. It goes back and forth. Okay? But you do hear your feelings also. Because you will always hear two parts. Never just one. If you hear only one, you're insane. You know you're insane.
Now, insanity is called unconsciousness. Because what happens is, your Lono, if it doesn't like feeling those feelings, it tunes out. And if this side has got the feelings and this side isn't paying any attention, okay, in you have war. In this state, we got the potential for war. There's a lot of feelings. Nobody's home. That's what leads to insanity. That is insanity. That is the definition of insanity at every level. That's why the Kahuna used to be able to heal people that were considered insane by today's standards like that. And today we put them in mental hospitals for forever because we never resolved that conflict.
They're in hospitals because there's no consciousness. Not only on their part, but on the mirror too. There's nobody to take care of business. There used to be people to take care of business, not no more. Several things, well, basically a lot of things prevent that from taking. They're called fear. Fear is a different thing. All kinds of fear. If you step out and you start healing people, and people start recognizing it as a miracle, how long will you last? The difference here is that if a bunch of people stepped out and did it, it go a long way. But if one person stepped out and did it, you're dead in 2 days later. Because you're a danger and you're a menace to society.
There has to be an awful lot of still to jump out there.
Now, what he's saying is that people who don't understand are afraid of what they don't understand.
Yeah.
When the lights are out, the boogeymen are around. Okay? Whether or not they exist is not important, but they are there. People fear that which they do not understand. if you are more conscious by far than someone else, you will be feared. That's been the basis of the fear for the Kahuna for a long time, like thousands of years. They're just more conscious. They understand things that other people don't understand. They have a balance, so what they create, something that looks like a miracle. But you see, it is a miracle. Because when you're in balance and conscious, you're divine. Capable of creation of miracles. What seem like miracles to people who aren't conscious. Now you know what a miracle is.
There's two very important things here. Within you exist two of the greatest teachers that created this earth. They created this earth. Okay? They created from this concept, from this understanding, called Huna. Okay? It matters not whether they were master teachers, students. It matters not that they were even Kahana. What matters is that they created you. You understand? Being the Kahana is like being Tom, Jerry, Jack, nothing. All we do is promote the understanding called Huna. That's all we do. And we promote this understanding not by teaching, by being it. Not by talking about it.
You learn more sometimes, like when you were talking about, or you were saying that sometimes by talking it, you learn more because then you're getting, sounding more back at you, people are saying back to you. Don't you seem to learn that way too?
Do what?
That didn't sound like it. Well, you said it's not talking, it's just doing it, right?
Yeah. See, talking, lip flapping doesn't mean anything. A lot of people spend a lot of time flapping their lips. There's no integrity there. You're out of integrity. What one party is doing, the other part is saying, the other part isn't doing. That's one thing that this understands real well. You want to know why there's power here? There's power here because there's integrity here. There's action. What he talked about. There's no talk about it. Yeah, you do it. That's it. And that's the only thing that counts. Spare me the speeches, let's just get to business. That's it. That's where the power comes from. Okay? Then we can just go on and chew the fat and chew the bone and blah, 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 and play mind games with ourselves and play all kinds of stupid games with ourselves.
Reason.
Justification, rationalization, reason, reason, reason. Justification, rationalization, reason, reason,
I love that
reason.
song.
Yeah. See? This pays no attention to that. None whatsoever. And so you can go blah, 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 all you want to. Nothing's going to change out there.
I thought what you meant was when you talk about things, you seem to learn and pick it up more, like on the Lono side.
Oh,
I think that's what she was talking about, as far as auditory going in your ear,
Mm-hmm.
listening to it.
Got it.
She can pick it up a lot better. And then you're telling us that you need to feel it in the cool, and not just hear it and learn it, but to experience
If it stays up here, right, if it stays up here, does you absolutely no good. Just fills up your brain and rattles around up there. Lots of noise comes out.
Well, that's the difference between the new and the old. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Now you know why the joke's on the howling. It's kind of like one of those tin rattles, you know?
America, Holly.
You know? There's a lot of banging around going on, a lot of noise being made, but that's it. A lot of times, right?
No comment.
Step out here, let's have some power.
You see, the whole thing is that though they have their individuality, they need each other to exist. In order for that divinity to exist, these two need each other. They need to be balanced with each other. They constantly, these two constantly need attention. They need acknowledgement. If one or the other lacks that acknowledgement, we're in confusion.
Or frustration.
This is where you go right quick. First, confusion. In a matter of minutes, frustration. What you have is a breakdown of the communication. They no longer trust each other. This is what's happening. He said, neither one acknowledge or trust. How do you get these two to stop bickering, to stop the conflict? Going back and forth. How do you stop your head and your feeling from beating you up?
So is the Lono the consciousness in itself? I mean, you take the information given from the coup. with the Lono.
They're both a form of consciousness, but this is direction,
Right.
wisdom.
Right.
Ultimately, if it's a good job, it's wisdom. Okay?
But feelings themselves aren't necessarily wise, right? I mean, you gotta get that.
They're
from
not,
the
they're
Lono
not
side.
about wise. Yeah.
Right, you
Yeah.
just
This is
take-
just about clarity. This is where the clarity comes from.
you-
Sometimes this gets to thinking that it's clear,
Right,
and it's not clear at all. Makes very simple connections that don't make any sense at all.
It shows in the action.
so you take this information that the coup supplies, process it with the Lono, and act on that. How is that the process?
Well, you've got direction and power. Power and direction, okay? Now, let me give you an example about wisdom. A powerful person, old world is powerful. Where's the old world? Raise your hands. Okay? You guys are powerful. What is true power? Go. Okay? Well, one of the things we know we're dealing with is energy, right? Energy's being moved and pumped. Energy's being moved and pumped. When that energy is being moved and pumped through the hose, through the fire hose, okay, what's controlling the force on the back end of that pump?
If you're not in balance with the Lono, then it's going without control.
It can go very much without control. Okay? If this doesn't feel much confidence in the direction, what's the pump going to do?
But the energy is, right?
No. What's the pump going to do?
Burn out.
Burn out. Shut down. When the pump shuts down, how much power is on the hose?
None.
So what does your power depend on, really? Consciousness. Okay? Now there's a little problem here that you need to be aware of. You're divine. You're creating your life every day. You are creating your life every day. You can be as little as you want to be that day, or you can be as big as you want to be that day. You get to choose. Okay? If you want to be little, what you do is you fill your consciousness up with beliefs. Phony ideas about what is. You can process a lot of energy on a foundation of a belief. There's a lot of wars that are fought over beliefs. Do a lot of damage. But there's no wisdom in the direction of power, because it's not based on what's real. It's based on phony power. You see? It's kind of like, we did this the other day, here's my 357 Magnum. Do what I tell you to do. Why is that phony power?
Because the gun holds the power, doesn't it?
Right. I give my power away. I don't have any power. All the power's here. And as soon as this goes down here, what the hell happens to me?
They jump you.
Yeah. No power there. At all. None. That's phony power. If I make you do something, I may think that I'm powerful. But it's a phony belief. It's not true. It's not real. At all. I've given my power away. It's the opposite of power. It's no power at all. That's how I cut down on my power. Okay? I give my power away. But if on the other hand I'm wise, what I'll do is I'll say, gee, like I had you do the other day. Put your nose down on that table. He puts his nose down. Where are you? West Hawaii. Now go stand out on the deck. Where are you? West Hawaii. Be wherever you want to be. And I walk away. That's all my job is. That's it. I can have infinite power now. You know why? Anybody I show that perspective to moves to the bigger perspective of their own power. I don't have to force them. You see? Now you see how they work together? That's Huna.
So you say Huna, this is Huna, a balance between those two. They're equal.
Huna is, that's what Huna is.
But the knowledge, this is the old and this is the new. And according to this, the old and the new is opposite. It's basic
They're not
physics.
opposite.
Basic physics, according to Newton.
They're complementary. Power and direction.
If you look at power and you look at direction as being the same, and not separate from each other. These are two words that look separate, but they're not separate. They're simply two words that look separate.
So it's like divinity is whole, so it's one energy, but it manifests in two spirits. Yeah. So it's actually, we actually have to see it not as different, but it's the same thing manifesting separately here, because that's how it is here.
Right. That's why the Kahuna were divided into 3 classes of priesthood. The priesthood of Ku, Kahuna, after the order of Ku, which had to do with rituals, healings, things of the body. Okay?
The teachings of Ku is based on the strength of instinct. Instinct. How we call it? Feeling. We know that in our terminology is instinct. The gut feeling. The gut knowing.
Intuition.
It's not what we think, it's what we know. What frustrates us at times is when we know and we go into thinking instead.
How often do you do that?
And we stop. We cut our own line right there. Because now we're going to stop it. Oh, wait a minute. Should I or should I not? By the time you get there, it's too late. You missed it. You go home, man. I knew this and I knew that. You knew this and you knew that, so what? You missed it. This was the teachings of Ku. And their teachings were precise. Instinct is what they learned to live in the body. They lived it. Okay? It became their law. It became their dream. It became their sleep. It became everything. It became the all known. This was the teaching of Ku. Okay? The teachings of Lono. You could say the thinkers. These are people, okay, whose power was of the mind. The mind, they used the mind to create their world, to create what they saw they needed in place of instinct. To understand instinct, this became their instinct. The mind. Okay? Telepathic message. There's nothing else we did.
The two can't be connected? People who do telepathy don't have instinct? Is that what you just said?
No, he said Lono. It had nothing to do. Telepathy would not exist in the teachings of Lono. It's all of the mind.
It's kind of like the old parallels drawn in the old Star Trek movies, you know, Spock and was the Lono
Total Lono.
and Kirk was the complete human that acted on instinct and had all
And
these
emotion.
emotions.
Okay.
Yeah, and McCoy was totally emotional. Not so, not so.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay?
The thing about these two classes is that they demanded sacrifice. It demanded sacrifice. In order for the Ku to be what it was intended, they had to be sacrificed. To demonstrate, to validate their power. In order for Lono to validate their power, they had to be sacrificed.
Either one focus on without the other becomes belief instead of
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Okay? Okay? It goes like this. You don't have a choice. You go study Lono. You don't have a choice. You go study Ku. Okay? This is called protocol. Your protocol. You became a child born and dedicated to the priesthood of Ku. You became a child born and dedicated to the priesthood of Lono. This was the protocol of the old world. There was no if, ands, or buts there. There was no reason how come. Why Ku? How come not Lono? Not much of that. There was none. Okay? Because the world that Lono created, the world that Lono built was perfect. The world that Ku built, the world that Ku created. The order, the protocol was perfect. The order was created to perfection. The Lono was perfect. The Ku was perfect. Was perfect because it had its own justification. Talk about that.
What kind of sacrifice are you talking about?
We're talking about imperfect. The old world left no room for imperfection. We're talking about mean people. We're talking about somebody born left in. Left in. Okay? We didn't have this, oh, we small. This baby got this baby got that, what are we going to do with it? Okay? This was the order. This is how perfect the old world was. We take this baby, okay, who is born with whatever. Okay? We take this baby now, lovingly from you. Okay? And we guarantee you at the same time that the spirit of this baby will come back again. Okay? This time, not mean those who are sick. Okay? And we are going to do what we have to do with this baby. We're going to offer this baby back to the world that it came from. The Spirit. Okay? In other words, the Spirit is given a gift, but the gift is a little bit tarnished. It's not perfect. According to the protocol of perfect that is set up. So we take this gift back. Not rejecting it. Okay? We're not giving it back, rejecting it. And think, hey, this is no good, man, what you doing? No. We're blessing it back. We're returning it to them so that they can make the necessary adjustment with it. Let it come again.
So the old world would take babies that were not
The old world
balanced. They would take them and they would dispose of the physical body so the spirit could go back.
Okay? Because of two things. Number one, suffering. Number two, neglect. This baby is going to suffer. Not let it suffer. It's not something that you would have to think about. It was an automatic. It was recognized as the thing to do. Mirror that to the Lono. If you don't like the picture that you created, what do you do with it?